Hi, Shabbat Shalom. You know, studying Torah and preparing Torah studies for the classes that I teach and for preaching is an exercise that brings meaning to my life. And when I look at the Torah, when I read its narratives, the stories, when I read its laws, I look at it through a number of different lenses. One is trying to understand what the Torah meant when it was written and to the public that read it. That's known as the Pshat. But then also what I see and what we all see is that over time, the Torah is interpreted. And it's seen through the lenses of the various commentators and their particular social milieu, the politics of their time, the experiences of their time. And then we read it in our own day. And when I read it, I want to be able to see how its meaning has either changed or developed or evolved. And not only that, I want to know what it says, but I also want to know what it says to me, what it says to our times. What are the values that it's trying to evoke? Because at the end of the day, the Torah is a document of essential Jewish values. That's why it's fascinating to read a parsha like the one we're reading this week, Parshat Tetzaveh. And Tetzaveh has to do with the accoutrements that were used in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle, in the wilderness, and in the ancient temple. It has to do with the priests and what the priests had to wear and what their place was. And what we realize is this isn't just something that describes a building project from ancient times or the priests who actually served in that building. It's got to do with creating a space that evokes a sense of holiness and a sense of dignity and a sense of meaning. We've been together for almost 2 years, much of that time on Zoom, and we're starting to return back into our building. And when you walk into the sanctuary, something deep is woken up. That's something that has to do with a connection to this particular place, but also it has to do with a connection to something very deep in the Jewish spirit. You know, we need reminders for all sorts of things, and we need reminders to think about the holiness in life. We need reminders to think about dignity and how we are to portend ourselves and to be. When I say we, it's not just those of you listening to this, but our society does, because something is missing in terms of the approach to life that includes respect, holiness, and dignity. And I hope that this parsha will remind us of that, at least a little bit. This weekend, we have a visiting senior rabbinical student from the Jewish Theological Seminary. Her name is Elizabeth Bright. As you may know, the synagogue is hiring a third rabbi, and it's going to be really wonderful for each and every one of us. Come out and listen to her and meet her, and I hope that it's a wonderful weekend for all of us. Shabbat Shalom and be well.